What's up, guys? This video is targeted towards finance guys just because I know what you guys are going through and how important fitness is when it comes to being in finance, not just for your career, but for your overall well-being and for your relationships and other things as well. So I'm going to start the conversation here with ChatGPT, see what it recommends, and then I'm going to talk about what I recommend and kind of see how ChatGPT is, if it's good, if it's bad, my take on it, and then I'll give you my expertise when it comes to this as well. So I'm curious to see if ChatGPT really knows what's what and if there's added value from using it or not. All right, get my steps in as we go. Now let's see. Basically asking what are the top things finance guys should do when it comes to health and fitness, why is it important or not, and what are the most common struggles, how can they be overcome or alleviated in the best way. Number one, fix your sleep. According to ChatGPT, sleep is your biological budget. I'm not going to read this like a dang robot. So set a digital sunset 2 hours before bed, get sunlight in the morning, use sleep tracking like Whoop or Aura for awareness. All right, lift heavy, stay lean. I think that should be 2 bullet points because a lot of people that lift heavy are not lean, and a lot of people that are lean don't lift heavy. So understandably, the combination of the two is important. When it says stay lean, I'm guessing between 10 and 15% body fat and strong. So that lift heavy part. So why? Strength training boosts testosterone, confidence, posture, and insulin sensitivity, all vital for high performance. The old I'm too busy trap. I mean, anybody can say they're too busy. That's the oldest trick in the book, or one of the weaker excuses, if you ask me. I think as long as you can prioritize it, then you're never too busy for it. 3 to 4 barbell-based sessions per week. Hire a coach to eliminate guesswork. Anchor it into your calendar like a meeting with your highest paying client. Understood. Granted, I did not prompt this, but obviously it's catered to, or it's going to be advocating for coaching because that's the best way to go about it, especially if you can delegate kind of that responsibility and gain that accountability. That's going to be key. Eat like you want to win. Why? High protein, high fat diets support brain function, energies, and energy gain. Uber Eats dependence, decision fatigue, sugar and caffeine spikes. So the fix there, I mean, I can give a fix to each one of these struggles, but ChatGPT's response: meal prep 2 times a week, go animal-based or Mediterranean, keep it simple and repeatable, beef, eggs, rice, fruit, water, salt. It's an interesting take. All right, let's see. Struggle, Uber Eats dependence. All right, let's delete Uber Eats. Done. Decision fatigue, plan ahead of time, whether that's a weekly or daily thing. Cut out sugar entirely, processed sugar, get your sugars from, and these are not the same types of sugar, fruit and honey. Boom. Caffeine spikes. Drink caffeine. Nobody cares. It's not that serious. And I would say pair your caffeine, if you are eating it on an empty stomach, pair it with a fat so that it's going to be slowing the absorption. You're still going to get the benefits, but less of the crash. Yeah, chew your food slower. I mean, it's not that serious. Move daily, even briefly. I'm a big advocate for this. Walk every day, do some yoga, do something that's going to move your body, like stretching, mobility. Not only does it help you physically, but mentally and emotionally as well, especially in a finance role. Like if you're managing client relations or if you're managing a large amount of assets, that's going to be key. Or even small amounts and you want to do better at it. So desk bound, long hours, no to fix. All right, so it says walk 10K steps a day. That's so general. Come on now. Take walking calls. Yes, I would advocate for that. Add mobility work to morning or pre-bed ritual. Awesome. Yes. So I would say do some sort of stretching, like the rights is like a good one. That's going to be like opening up your shoulders, strengthening your glutes, opening up the front side of your hips. Those things that are going to be, you're going to have that kind of posture if you're overlooking a laptop or overlooking a phone or sitting down at a desk all day. You kind of want to open your body up like nice and wide, right? So that they're going to help with that. I think just yoga in general is going to help you open things up, get that mobility back, and even strengthening through those possibly uncomfortable poses, but opening things up and then building strength on top of it is going to be key. Now you can also like strengthen the like your back and posterior chain if you want to kind of reposition your posture that way. When it says desk bound, I wouldn't say the one-to-one help is going to be like walk 10K steps. To me, the desk bound is more of like a postural and energy thing. So yes, walking is going to be helpful, but I think yoga is better. In terms of desk bound being like you're stagnant all day, that's where I do understand the 10K steps a day. That's cool. But realistically, to me, 10K is just such a thrown around number. I don't think it's like, if you do this, you're good. If you don't, you're bad. Optimize recovery, not just rest. So why? Most finance guys are in sympathetic overdrive. To me, that I think what they're trying to say here is that you're sympathetic. Interesting. To me, that means they're in a high, what it's trying to say is they're in a high stress state. So you want to bring down that stress so then your body can actually recover and do other things like produce testosterone. If you're stressed, your cortisol is too high, and you're eating foods that enhance your stress and stuff like that, or drinks, then, or watching things, or just your environment is stressful, then you're not going to be producing the optimal amount of testosterone and stuff like that. So take that into account. I recommend things like going on a walk in nature, taking a break to do some breath work, some meditation, some yoga, some positive visualization, journaling, affirmations. Now, you don't want to fill your whole day with these things, but if you can take 15 minutes to journal some things you're grateful for, write about your goals, write about your priorities, you're going to feel like you have a lot more control and be consciously creating more positive thoughts and more positive reality, in my opinion. Struggle. If I'm not grinding, I'm falling behind kind of mindset. I mean, obviously, to me, you need to be grinding and resting. You don't need to be grinding all the time. That's where you get ground down or burnt out. So you need to have that balance. And I'm not the kind of guy saying balance like, oh, go have balance, like go drink 10 beers with your buddies and stay up till 2 in the morning. That's not my kind of balance. My kind of balance is work really hard and rest really hard as well. So the fix recommended here: implement structured recovery, meditation, sauna, cold plunges, journaling, barefoot time in nature, 30-60 minutes per day. I would advocate for all of this. I think it's all under. Cold plunges might be overdone at this point. Sauna is going to be great for you. Meditation, can't speak highly of enough. Journaling, I do it basically every single day. Barefoot time in nature. I did one thing where I was walking barefoot on a freshly greened or chemical sprayed soccer field, and my body broke out in like hives, in like a rash. So be careful where you walk in nature. Not all grass is the same. I think the beach is going to be like one of the best spots for that. But truly barefoot, grounded, connected with the earth is ideal. You should see body scans of stress levels literally diminishing as you are spending time in nature or doing things like meditation, and these other things are great as well. Now, when it says 30 to 60 minutes a day, I don't think it's talking about cold plunges. That's like 2 minutes, 10 minutes max. But sauna, yeah, you can push 20 minutes easy. Why does this matter? Or you'll pay for it. Burnout does lead to bad decisions. If your body's fried, your brain will follow. You want to make good decisions not only for yourself, but for your business, in your life, etc. So when you're burnt out, you're more likely to reach for, for some people, it may be like the bottle of alcohol, or it may be that junk food, or just going to that convenience, right? So you want to be planned ahead of time, rested, recovered, don't overdo it, and you'll be much better off. Testosterone is the competitive edge. If you look at stock returns, risk-taking abilities, stuff like that, it's going to be related to your testosterone. So that is the competitive edge. I can't advocate for it enough. I know myself, I was scared to, more or less like timid in my work and wasn't willing to take risks. And that's when I was at my lowest. I was not willing and able to, make recommendations to the higher ups. I wasn't willing and able to try new things. That's where the discovery and the risk taking and the actual growth happens, is when you have that competitive drive, when you have that ambition and that purpose behind your work, when you're really wanting to do better and improve yourself and do better for others as well. So high T men take more action, handle stress better, and lead with certainty. So I realized it wasn't the role or the job that was giving me stress, it was how I was handling it that made me stressed. So when you manage yourself better, you can manage others better and manage stress better. It all kind of goes together. So perception equals power. How you look is how you're perceived. 100%, dude. I've seen completely obese people and I've seen really scrawny people, and to me, I just can't help but think that they are putting a cap on their potential. You're just not showing the world that you respect yourself if you're showing up that way. Call it what you want, but that's just the reality of life. So that's how it goes. Investors, clients, women, and partners will notice. So you're not fooling anybody by showing up anything less than your best shape. And also, I think a lot of people put a limit on what their best shape is just because of where they've been before. We're saying like, oh, I'm in pretty good shape, but like, who are you comparing yourself to? If you're comparing yourself to high-level athletes, that's different. But a lot of times people are comparing themselves to Joe Schmo and, you know, the people that they may be around, which couldn't, you know, might not always be the best. Longevity equals leverage. If you're building wealth but sacrificing health, you'll spend your wealth trying to buy back your health later. This is pretty well said. The way I would mention it is that wealth is cool, having money is cool, but your health truly is priceless. So never make that trade-off more than you absolutely need to. Moving on to some common struggles and solutions. Lack of time. Come on, everybody has a lack of time. You just need to make it happen. Automate the meals, schedule workouts like calls, use 30 to 45 minute sessions. That's exactly what I do. I basically prep my meals ahead of time or get them delivered, school, or have others gratefully make them for me. Schedule workouts like calls, use 30 to 45 minute sessions. It's exactly what I'm on. Today was 30 minutes and I had a little extra time, so did a little extra. But less than 45 minutes, it was awesome. No structure or plan is a problem. All right, well, that's like having no financial plan or no budget. It may seem freeing to not have limitations, but then you're not going to be optimizing for results. So follow a proven strength and hypertrophy program, track your metrics. You should also be tracking things when it comes to nutrition, like your calories at least, especially if you're looking to cut weight, tracking your lifts, obviously, and then tracking some sort of recovery metrics, whether that is sleep, whether that's what active recovery did I do, what passive recovery did I do, etc. And to me, you should always be looking, how can I improve from last week or from last month? Now, low energy and burnout. It's understandable. You need to prioritize sleep, but even more than that, quality sleep. So sometimes I'll get 6 hours, but I'll still feel rested, energized, and ready to go. Now, that's because I'm probably not eating up until the time I go to bed. I'll take a break from that an hour or two beforehand at least. Same thing goes for the amount of lights. I'm not going to have on all these lights. Just going to follow the natural rhythm of the sun. Basically, when the sun goes down, I put on my ambiance, different lighting. So it's not like your overhead lighting. It's more subtle and subdued. So using that, doing some journaling, reading, socializing, where it's less technology involved is going to be key there. Fix blood sugar swings. The biggest thing you can do for this truly is gain muscle mass. That's going to help blunt your blood sugar swings the most. Even people that are skinny are at risk for things like diabetes because of this, because they don't have the muscle mass that they need to limit the highs of the sugar. Now, even I guess, the way that you can also take care of that is by limiting your sugar intake. So fix that blood sugar swing by not overdoing the sugars. I feel like that's a pretty blanket statement. To me, I prefer having a good amount of caffeine morning, and then by the time the afternoon comes around, I'll limit it, but it's nothing that I need to be crazy concerned about. I know what I average when it comes to caffeine in terms of milligram consumption. I know where the upper bounds are. You need to have 10,000 milligrams of caffeine a day to be on the edge of major discomfort. I guess there's different and better ways to have it, but I think if you go about it in a smart way, you're good. Analysis paralysis. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I really do enjoy putting together a great plan, but even myself, I know it's going to change. I know it's going to be adjusted. So I'll take, 15 minutes, 30 minutes max, put together a whole month plan, and then be good to go. And then I might adjust it next week, but I'm not, changing an entire plan at a time. I'm making tweaks, making adjustments, and keeping the main thing the main thing. So for me, that's going to be improving strength with the training side of things. I also work on things like conditioning or mobility, but those are going to be secondary. Ego lifting or program hopping. As I just mentioned, make sure, stick to the basics, progressive overload. I wouldn't even mention progressive overload as the basics, but I would say the core lifts. So if I am in Alabama, if I am in Albania, if I am in Alberta, it doesn't matter. They're all going to have a barbell. So that's why I love doing barbell training, and I can stick to these workouts. I can do, calisthenics anywhere. I have a resistance band. I can do those workouts anywhere. But for me, the best bang for your buck, the most logical and methodical way to make progress is going to be with a barbell. Kettlebells are cool and stuff, but I've never seen somebody do a lot of those crazy looking movements in a real way. Regardless, barbells are going to be your best bet. Just a straight bar, you're good to go. So to me, the basics are the bench, squat, deadlift, even overhead press. A lot of guys have weak shoulders, and strengthening that is going to help you not only with your overall strength, but your aesthetic immensely. And I would recommend push-ups, pull-ups, and squats as well. Things like squat thrusts are good as well, or burpees. Yeah, lastly, consistency and good form. That's always going to be key. Final thought, finance men are trained to invest wisely. So why treat your body like a depreciating asset? Yeah, man, invest in yourself. How are others going to invest in you if you're not investing in yourself? Treat yourself like a high-value asset. Treat your energy, your health, and your testosterone like a high-yield portfolio. Build it daily. Track your metrics. Avoid that burnout. If you think about valuing yourself like you would value a stock, you're going to be valued based on your, excuse me, it's been a little while, but I guess, what is it? The future cash flows that you're expected to create. So if you are investing in yourself, chances are you're going to continue to appreciate your value in terms of the cash flow or the value that you are creating, whether that's in a business, in your relationships, or just in the world entirely. So that's that. Not too much. I feel like I just kind of like talked through what it is that I would adjust. I'm curious on this question. I feel like there's almost just an overabundance of technology where it's like you can just get cheap stuff, but same with like supplements. You can get a whole bunch of cheap stuff. It might have a benefit somewhere in there, but at the same time, like it's normally mixed with something. I'm not big on many wearables or supplements for that reason. So do wearables emit harmful effects? Yes, some do, and it's a fair concern. Most wearables like Whoop, Aura, Apple Watch, and Fitbit emit Bluetooth radiation, even during sleep, which can disrupt deep sleep quality, alter HRV, heart rate variability, and possibly interfere with melatonin production over time. So to me, why would you wear something to track your sleep if it's going to limit the quality of your sleep? Sounds counterproductive. Radiation overexposure. Wow, what is this, Chernobyl? I thought I was getting healthy. Radiation exposure right near arteries, like your wrist, reproductive zones, finger, or brain. I'm not sure what it means by reproductive zones being your finger. Not going to look into it. Or your brain. Yeah, let's mess with our brain while we sleep. Great idea. Overtracking anxiety. Becoming obsessed with sleep scores can backfire and worsen sleep. Possibly. False sense of accuracy. Many wearables estimate, not measure things like REM or deep sleep. 100% true. Natural sleep is always king. You're absolutely right. Your body is the ultimate tracker. If you wake up feeling clear-headed, well-rested, energetic without caffeine, that's better than a perfect Whoop score. Sometimes I like you, ChatGPT. What to do instead or as a hybrid. If you do use a wearable, put it on airplane mode every night. Use it to spot trends, not perfection. Keep it off your body during the day if not needed. See, I don't even wear mine anymore. At this point, I know where I'm at. I'm making progress regardless. There's easy ways that I can track my sleep if I really wanted to. I think I have a good idea, but it's not like I'm tracking it like every single night. Or like I don't keep historical record, but I could tell you the last few nights how I've slept. If you go fully natural, track your bedtime, wake time manually. This could be something I could do. I feel like I do, but I don't have, like I said, I don't have like a log. But I'm more so like, all right, it's this time. I'm going to be getting up at around the same time each day, luckily. So I know what, by the time I'm getting ready for bed, if I'm going to have, you know, a little bit of time to get to bed, or if I have, you know, a while before I need to get to sleep, or if I'm, you know, it's already late, then I just kind of know where I'm at. So score your sleep with a 1-3 journal rating. Yo, I literally set something up yesterday or 2 days ago, and sleep is one of the categories, and I have tracking 0, a 1, a 2, or a 3. Now, I haven't gotten a 3 the last couple nights, but that's all right. I haven't gotten a 0 either, so just good to track and build that awareness and improve over time. To me, this is something where it's like, even the people that are tracking their calories and not restricting them or adjusting them, they end up eating better or eating cleaner. It's just like the benefits of tracking itself. So with that said, definitely track your sleep like this. Give it a score 0, 1, 2. I would say 0, 1, 2, 3. So adding the 0 in there for nights that are horrible. Optimize your environment. No screens 1 to 2 hours before bed. Cool room, pitch black, and grounding in the day. Morning sunlight exposure for circadian rhythm. I would also say make it cool, make it black or dark, and make it quiet. Now, if you are somebody like me that prefers to have a fan or an air purifier or a little background noise, that's cool, but don't play it from like a TV. Play it from a speaker that doesn't have much light. If you have that light in your room, you're going to be disrupting your sleep anyway, so you're doing something counterproductive if you're playing like, even if you're playing like super sleeper beats, hurts. That seems silly to me. Just play it out of a speaker, not off a TV that's shining light in your room. Morning sunlight exposure for circadian rhythm. It's all good, man. All good stuff there. So yeah, back to the basics: training, nutrition, recovery. I know we didn't go over each of them in depth, but just having an overview, understanding what guys in finance have and deal with. Now, it's not different from many other things, but it is, or I guess a lot of people have those issues, but they don't have them in the same way. So I think going about them in a way that is unique to finance guys is going to be beneficial. Let me know if you guys have other questions. I think that's it for today. I'll be back on most likely tomorrow, chatting a bit more on a similar topic. Hope this helps. Connect with me on Instagram or LinkedIn. Same Instagram name, @GrowWithCraigo, as my YouTube, and then Craig Stoliker on LinkedIn. Shoot me a message or let's connect there. Make sure you like this, subscribe if you watch this, and check out my other videos. I'm sure you'll find some benefit from them as well.